Hey, hey, hey! It's your boy Lady Creature coming in with another video! And in today's chat and draw, I have several things in store for you folks. Let us begin with today's main course, known as a feline burger. Do not fret, by the way, for not a single feline was harmed in the making of this production. With that stated and out of the way for all of those who may have been concerned, and as you observe me preparing this fine piece of work, allow me the opportunity to provide some context for today's featured art pieces. So a rather hot minute ago, yours truly had been so graciously notified that throughout the course of the year 2024, the social media platform known as DeviantArt had been giving out these trinkets called badges to whoever participated in certain monthly challenges they were hosting. And when I was notified that I still had a chance to receive some of these said badges, yours truly proceeded to act accordingly and chose to partake in the Otter, Cherry Blossom, and Cat Burger challenges respectfully, so that I may acquire their corresponding badges. Because dang it, they're cute, okay? Speaking of the Cat Burger, a little fun fact I would like to share with all of you is that I tried to model my rendition off of the McDonald's Quarter Pounder Deluxe, as that just so happens to be one of my absolute favorite McDonald's menu items, along with numerous other things. Oh, I've also begun trying to learn how to make hamburgers from home as of late, using super lean meat hamburger patties, romaine lettuce, whole grain and or whole wheat bread, and honestly whatever else I feel like. Because for those of you who may not be aware, for a while now I've been very actively working on improving my general physical health, and subsequently trying to develop a healthier relationship with food. Anywho, let us jump into today's appetizer, which should have probably come before the main course, but you know what? This is how we're gonna do things now, so yeet! Next up are our otters. Now this was actually the first of the 3 challenges I would end up pursuing, because I had a feeling that due to it being out of my comfort zone, never having drawn an otter before, much less 2, that it would prove to be more of an actual challenge than the other 2 drawings I had planned on tackling, which ended up being the case. Which is fine. I personally believe that such challenges only help to improve my artistic capabilities, along with expanding my creative reach. And after what felt like quite a fair bit of trial and error, I would eventually succeed at drawing a relatively decent pair of cute otter babies. I especially like the water heart with bubbles that I have them floating in. I do believe that turned out really nice, in addition to making for a mighty fine additional touch to the overall creation. And last, but most certainly not least, may I present to you the cherry blossoms I had produced, which I suppose will serve as today's dessert item. Now this one reminds me of a story I wish to share with you, my dear viewer, but not without a spoiler warning for a game called Like a Dragon Ishin, which goes out to anybody who may be interested in playing it. Otherwise, kick back as I share with you a tale regarding an elderly couple, their deceased son, and beloved pup, who also tragically passes away. So you know, all the makings of a good Greek tragedy, with a wholesome ending. So this story begins with a man known as Saito and Orioma stumbling upon an elderly couple who just so happened to be getting harassed by this random dude who, in an act of utter disrespect, brutally snatches the life of their beloved canine companion. Now, the dingus who committed such a heinous act does get his just desserts as far as our main protagonist is concerned, and soon enough is greeted with a big ol' butt whooping. And once matters involving him have been properly attended to, our protagonist's attention is immediately redirected to our now grieving elderly couple from before, who had apparently lost their own son to a similar fate in the past. Moved by their conundrum, our ever-respectful and valiant hero takes it upon himself to locate a suitable burial for this sweet yet unfortunate elderly couple's now lifeless doggy. That location being under the nearest cherry blossom tree. Only one problem. That being the nearest cherry tree is about zilch. Finito. Supposedly kaput. However, the grieving couple from before are thankfully not picky, and in fact are rather appreciative of Saito and Orioma's efforts, and thus proceed to have that be their dog's final resting spot underneath the withered old cherry blossom tree, or so everybody had assumed. For after all was said and done, the elderly wife notices something rather unexpected. That being a single, healthy, brand spanking new, fresh in all of its entirety, cherry blossom petal fall from the tree, which, of course, shocks everybody. Like, what the fudge nuggets, dude? This tree is supposed to be as shriveled as a prune, so where on bloody earth did this thing come from? Anyways, everyone comes to the mutual conclusion that it is probably a sign from the elderly couple's beloved son, who just so happened to greatly favor cherry blossom trees, that everything was going to be okay, restoring happiness and peace for one and all. The end! Now see, wasn't that a wonderful story? Definitely one of my personal favorite side missions from the game Like a Dragon Ishin. Now one singular note regarding my floral-focused creation is that I honestly wasn't expecting it to turn out as good as it did. I do believe that my main concern when producing this one was my ability to make it look natural enough, or my potential lack thereof. Now this may just be me. If so, I sincerely apologize. However, I think that I managed to produce some pretty natural looking flowers. At the very least, I would like to believe I produced something a little more natural looking than what you'd probably find at a Dollar Tree. Anywho, I do believe that about wraps it up for today. I do hope you enjoyed our time together on this fine day or evening. Thank you ever so much for joining me on this quest of mine in acquiring these little trinkets known as badges.
And watch me do some random designs and ramble along the way.
By the way, for anybody who may be interested, you should be able to see the badges I had acquired from these productions on my DeviantArt profile, which you are more than welcome to peruse, if you have the time and or interest, that is. No pressure, no pressure, just saying. Link to my card in the description below for anybody who cares. I do hope you have a lovely rest of your day or evening moving forward, and until our paths hopefully cross once again, TTFN! Ta-ta for now, my lovelies!